Good afternoon, children. Welcome to online physical science class. Welcome to 6th standard physical science online class. Today we will be continuing our 6th lesson in physics light. Okay. So far we have learned the pinhole camera. Am I right, children? So today we are going to start the new topic, shadows. So how the shadows are formed? How shadows are formed? Shadows are formed. Shadow is nothing but the dark region behind an opaque object is the shadow of the object. Okay. When a shadow will be formed, when opaque objects are placed between the screen and the source, then shadows will be formed. Here in this case, sun is the source and the floor is the screen. So, a human being is a opaque object, and that's why the shadow is formed in this picture. Okay, children. So, the dark region behind an opaque object is the shadow of the object. Is it clear, children? Yes. So, how does this shadows? What are the peculiar process of these shadows? So, as the sun moves across the sky, the shadow will move from one side of the stick to the another. This should be obvious, isn't it? So when you have a stick, when you keep a stick, stick upright in the open garden, as the sun move across the sky, the shadow will move from one side of the stick to the other end, and this should be obvious. We have already know this. The shadow will naturally fall on the side opposite to the source of light. Okay, isn't it? Normally, where the shadows will be formed, just the opposite of the source of the light. Then, length source means from where the light comes. So, the length of the shadow will change as the angle between the uh, rays from the sun and the stick changes. The length of the shadow will also change. Am I right? So, the when the sun is overheaded at noon, the rays are almost parallel to the stick and the shadows is the smallest. Am I right? And there are shadows. Look at the shadow. The shadow is very smallest when the sun is just above the stick. So, and when the rays slant the most, when the rays slant the most, this is the most slanting ray, isn't it? In the morning and in the evening, the shadow is the longest. So, the shadow is the longest. So, when the rays are most slant, the shadows are the longest. Look at the shadows are the longest. Okay, children. When the rays slant the most in the morning and evening, the shadow is the longest. Do you understood this? So, the length of the shadow changes with the angle between the rays of the sun and the stick. Angle between the rays of the sun and the stick. So, when the sun, rays are more slanting, the shadow will be longer. When the rays are very shorter, the shadow will also be a short one. Is it clear? Yes, that shows good. Then the next comes the point source. What do you mean by point source? A point source, it's a kind of shadow. Okay, point source is a kind of shadow of an object. Forms also depends on the nature of the source. So the kind of shadow uh, an object forms also depend on the nature of the source. If the source is a point of light called a point source, the shadow formed by an object that comes in the path of its light is completely dark. Okay. So this is because the light spreading out from the point source is completely cut off from the region behind the object. So this is the light rays comes out from here. No, it is completely cut off from the region. This region only exposed to light. This region does not export. So a very clear image is formed. Okay, this dark region is called umbra. UMBRA, umbra region. Okay, umbra or umbral region. Okay, umbra or umbral region where the shadow is the darkest one. If you place a screen in the umbral region, you will see a completely dark shadow with the sharp edges. Okay, the farther you move the screen from the object, the larger will be the shadow. The larger will be the shadow. The size of the shadow will also change if you keep the screen fixed and move the object. Okay, you can do it in vice versa. If you move either the source or the screen, the size of the shadow get changed. The shadow will become larger as you move the object closer to the source. Okay, then the shape of the shadow depends on the relative positions of the source, object and the screen, or rather the angles between them. So the shape of the shadow depends on what? The relative positions, the positions between the source, object and the screen. Okay, for example, if you hold a square sheet of cardboard in front of a point source, the shadow will be square only when the sheet and the screen are parallel. So only when it will be square when they are parallel, that is they are parallel to each other, then you can say get a parallel a square shadow. If you change the distance, the shadow, the shape will also get changed. Okay, if you tilt the sheet or the screen a bit, you will see a diamond shaped shadow. So this is about the point source. Do you understood, children? Now comes the extended source. So what is an extended source? When an object comes in the path of a light from an extended source, the shadow formed by it has two distinct parts. There is a completely dark region called the umbra. Okay, there is a completely dark region called the umbra, surrounded by the comparatively lighter region called penumbra. When such shadows falls on a screen or a surface, the umbra has sharp outlines while the penumbra looks fuzzy. Okay, if you look at the figure in this figure, you can completely understand why the umbra is completely dark while the penumbra is lighter. Light is completely blocked from the central region of the shadow by an object. So the light is completely blocked by the shadow of this object. Okay, that's why the outer region of the shadow on the other hand gets some light from the source. So the outer region of the shadow, the outer region means this one, this region gets some light from the source. Okay, do you understood? For example, the point P1, okay, the point P1 in the outer region gets light from the points like A in the upper portion of the source, but not from points like B in the lower portion of the source. The point P2 on the other hand gets light from the points like B, but not from points like A. So these two positions, no, when you these two positions get light from P1 get lights from A, but P2 will not get light from A. Similarly, P2 will get light from B and will not get from A. Okay, child, will not get from A. So this is called extended source. So this upper surface, it forms a comparatively less light rays. Okay, so this is the reason why the penumbra region forms. The region of the screen outside the penumbra gets light from the entire source. So this region gets the entire light source. So when you keep a ball in front of a torchlight, you can watch this umbra, penumbra and this extra entirely the region where the light source is entirely focused. Okay, children, do you understood this? Hope you so. Now look at this figure. This figure shows what happens when an object is smaller than the source. So here now we are going to discuss the object is smaller than the source. The umbra is like a cone. The umbra is like a cone that extends only up to a particular distance. Okay, up to a particular distance. The rays completely meet and it extends. If you place a screen beyond this distance, you will not see a dark shadow. So if you keep beyond where this cone like structure forms, no? If you keep the screen here, you cannot see the dark shadow. This is contrast to the figure, to the first figure, where the object is larger than the source. Here this concept is entirely different from the first one, because here the source is smaller than the object. Okay, but here the source is bigger than the uh, object. So you must clearly understood this concept. You understood, children? Yes, when birds and aeroplanes fly above the earth, the situation is as in figure, in this figure. Okay, so when birds and aeroplanes fly above the earth, the situation, so the shadows will be formed according to this concept, according to this diagrammatic explanation. Okay, the umbra is too small to reach the earth and we do not see a shadow. Is it clear? They also forms a shadow, but the umbra is very small to reach the earth, so we are not able to see the shadow of birds and aeroplanes during the daytime. Is it clear, children? Hope you have understood about this umbra and penumbral region. So the dark shadow region is called umbra region, and the extended region is called penumbra region. Do you understand? So based on this, we are going to learn the important concept of eclipses. Eclipses are actually shadows. They occur when the shadow of the earth falls on the moon or the shadow of the moon falls on the earth. You know that moon revolves around the earth and together they go around the sun, isn't it? This we have already known from our lower classes. From time to time, in the course of in the course of these travels, all three all three happens to be in one straight line. That is when an eclipse occurs. So their movement comes at some time, they meet in a straight line. All the sun, earth and moon, they meet in a straight line, and this causes an eclipse. We know that eclipse is of two types. Eclipse is of two types. Well, the first one is solar eclipse. Solar eclipse. So when the moon comes between the sun and the earth, the moon comes between the sun and the earth, Okay, then its shadow falls on the earth. Its shadow falls on the earth. People who are inside this region then see the sun either partially or not at all. If the umbra of the moon's shadow reaches the earth, people in this region do not see the sun at all. Then they observe a total eclipse. Do you understand, children? So the light is blocked by the moon. The light of the sun is blocked by the moon, and the umbra region, the people who are living in the umbra region, okay, umbral region of the shadow of the moon, they observe the total eclipse. They cannot see the moon, the sun at all. They understood. On the other hand, people in the penumbral region, that is this region, people those who are living in this penumbral region, uh, they get light from some part of the sun. Some part of the sun, they get the light ray, they get the light from the sun. In other words, they can see a part of the sun or a partial eclipse. Part of a sun or a partial eclipse. Do you understood this concept? So the light of the sun is blocked by the moon. Light of the sun is blocked by the moon. The umbral region of the moon's shadow, and this people those who are living in this umbral region experience total eclipse. That is, they are not able to see the moon at all, the sun at all. Okay, children. Then the penumbral region, where a part of the sun rays are available, the people those who are living in those areas, the people those who are living in these areas, they experience a partial eclipse. Partial eclipse, that is, they can see a part of the sunlight. Is it clear? Yes, so they are living in penumbral region. So we can see the moon only by the sunlight reflected from its surface. We know this already. Hence, when it lies between the sun and the earth, it cannot be seen at all. So we cannot see the moon also. This is called the new moon, or in our Tamil language we call it as Amavasa. A solar eclipse can thus occur only on the day of a new moon. Only on the day of a new moon. So, solar eclipse, when it will occur? It will occur only on the new moon day. Do you understand, children? So, you can do a simple activity. You can see how a solar eclipse occurs. Shine a torch. So, this is a activity. Shine a torch. That is considered the torch to be a sun. On a globe, you have globe, no? So that's the earth. Then hold a ball, that is the ball is the moon. So this is the sun, torch is the sun, a globe is the earth, and the ball is the moon. Okay, ball is the moon. Is it clear, children? Yeah, between the torch and the globe. So then hold a ball between the torch and the globe. Move the ball back and forth, move the ball back and forth to see how the shadows changes. So this activity will help you to understood this solar eclipse concept well. You understood, children? Hope you have understood and enjoyed today's class. So complete your detailed answers assignment. Also learn this lesson short answers and a book exercise well, children. Thank you, children. Meet you in the next class.